Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the September 12th, 2023 council meeting of the Morristown Town Council. Margot, please take it away.
I, Margot G.K., the town clerk of the town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:34 p.m. on Tuesday, September 12th, 2023, and that this regular hybrid meeting is being held via webinar and in person. Both adequate electronic notice of this meeting were provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the town of Morristown, and to the New York Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted in Town Hall and on the town website filed with the office of the town clerk of the town of Morristown. I can further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in the public announcement.
Some change in the fourth word.
Okay, excuse me. I will take a roll call. Councilman Armington.
Yes, here.
Councilwoman Cotton and Councilwoman Foster are excused this evening. Councilman Iannacone.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
Councilman Umbriac.
Here.
Council President Mayer.
Here.
Council President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Maybe have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Will everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see, before we get started, please be aware that public comment during the public hearing portions of this meeting will be held both in person and through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising his or her hand in chambers or in the app. To comment via Zoom, click on the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your phone. When it is your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app and ask that you unmute yourself so that you may be heard. To unmute yourself on the phone, press *6. I also would like to announce that Resolution R-127-2023 has been amended to include Morris Taxi and Limo Express. There are 10 items on the consent agenda. Do any members of council want to pull any for separate consideration? Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, on approval of the consent agenda, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriac.
Yes.
And Council President Mayer.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we will open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. For remote members of the public, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate that you would like to speak. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order. No comments were received via email.
Okay. You have your hand raised. We'll start at the front and then we'll go ahead. Go ahead.
She's been here the longest.
And then-
Hi, everybody. My name is Rose Solomon.
Can you stand a little bit close to the microphone so we can hear you?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Rose Solomon. I live at 19 Anderson Street. Today, the reason why I'm here is because I have an issue with Park Pocahontas and all the garbage that's strewn everywhere. And it's an eyesore to my property that my house is right next door. And literally yesterday morning, I got up in the morning and went down to the park and picking up beer bottles and glass embedded into the ground. And I have pictures here to show you that this is what I took pictures of. And, you know, it's a pretty park, and I'm so glad that they're fixing it up and putting pretty trees and everything. But before we spend money on that, I think we need garbage receptacles by the picnic table, so when people go there to party or eat or whatever, they could put it in the receptacle instead of strewn everywhere, especially in that little wooded area, and it's an eyesore to my property. So that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just so you know, we have all public comments first and then the council responds at the end. So
Okay.
just wait until the end of it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, would like to come up?
Yes, my name is Rich Modzaleski. I live at 14 Hill Street,
And I just wanted to say I've lived on Hill Street since 1969. Adjoining my properties, the two properties I own, are the lumber yard, the old lumber yard, let's note it as that, and also 57 Elm Street. May I pass around two pictures of those sites that I'd like to discuss? The first one is called The View from Elm Street, Old Lumber Yard, and the other one is View Facing Elm Street.
Any material should go to the clerk.
Go to,
Over there
let's do the clerk first.
And if you could speak into the mic so that people at home can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to say I've been living in the area for a long time, as I mentioned. And I think I have some issues regarding the property. I know it's been under discussion many times. I'm talking about the old lumberyard property, and I know it's a difficult issue to work with for the council members. I just wanted to say, I wanted to add some information that I just turned up today, because I think it's pertinent for a better understanding of the property and the property owner. I'm looking at the first article here from the Star-Ledger dated 1994, and it says the topic is Morristown property added by developer. That developer being the owner of the property who is now. That's 1994. At the time, the article states that he plans to move quickly to bring retail tenants to the site. And a quote here is, this is by Mayor Block. He told me weeks ago he wanted to move very fast. I'm hopeful it will be a fast turnaround to get retail in there. 1994. The next article I turned up, well, I've had a couple of these articles. As you may know, there was a tremendous fire on the site. The old lumberyard burned. The date of that was 2003. So prior to that, the property was owned by the previous owner. It was left vacant. It was empty. And there were no alarms in the building, I was told. And what occurred here was, at least it says here on the article, candles blamed for blaze. The building was left vacant. There was vagrants who were in the building, and the fire was set by the vagrants, according to the article. Again, I'm quoting the articles here. This is, again, the alarms were removed from the building. And at that time, because of the damage to the adjoining building, which was 57 Elm Street, I assume that's the reason why the owner of the lumberyard bought that building. It had significant damage from the fire of his properties. So, again, I wanted to point out that right now, property is a public nuisance. If you look at the photos there, you'll see that there's a pile of rubble that's adjoining a retaining wall there. What you see in that rubble was actually the remnants of the building. That included old paints, probably asbestos, who knows what. But what became of that is now a harbor for rodents and other animals. I don't understand if that is permitted or not, but that's the way I see it. Almost every time I drive down the road, there's some sort of creature in the road that runs right into that area there where all the rubble is. That rubble is supporting a retention wall, which is beginning to deteriorate. I just hope that the code people can look into some of these issues at the time.
Mr. Margileski, you have 30 seconds left.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Anyway, what I'm asking the town to do, the property is an eyesore. It diminishes property value. And I also would like the town to consider requiring alarms for vacant buildings. The building is deteriorating, and it's not being deterioration is not being corrected. And I hope property maintenance can look into this. I guess that's about it. I have more to say, but it's been on my mind for a while, and I just thought I'd make some comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to come up? You can move the microphone down.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Bowser, and I'm the manager and co-owner of the Learning Express right here on South Street.
Can you spell your last name, please?
Bowser. It was recently brought to my attention that stores in town are not permitted to host sidewalk sales. As one of the few retail establishments in town, I can say that retail owners are always doing their best to attract new customers and business to their stores. Sidewalk sales not only enable prospective customers to view the store inside out, but allow the town to look busy and bustling. I believe as a town, we pride ourselves on having a very welcoming downtown that's walkable, approachable, and vibrant with activity. Just as restaurants provide outdoor dining experiences, retail should be allowed to utilize their outdoor spaces as well. I recognize, as do the restaurants, that any use of outdoor space needs to be compliant with the pedestrian walkway. I ask that the council review the current laws regarding retail use of sidewalk space to enable retail sidewalk sales. On great weather days, our town is bustling with locals and visitors. We would love to show off not only our business, but our town to all who come by. I'm ready to assist in connecting with more retailers to discuss goals and guidelines. This will help ensure that the ordinance aligns with the goals of both local businesses and the municipality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, come on up.
Hello, council members. My name is Daniel Arias, 71 Western Avenue. I'm also a co-owner of Cultivate Skate Shop. And I would like to first start off by saying thank you all so much for allowing us to host the Skate Jam back in July. It was honestly a great success. We had over, I think, more than 80 kids, teenagers, adults, just there having a good time, and just want to thank you guys again for that. So what we're here to talk about today is we're still pushing for the skate park, and I know that's not something you guys are really in favor for immediately. It's not for the immediate future, but what we would like to do is get a dedicated skateboard area, and the area that we're proposing is the Granby Park, where we did have our skate jam. And the reasons are the following. So I know the location was a big issue. You guys didn't know what would be a good location. There's low noise level. It's far enough from houses where it doesn't create abnormal amount of noise. There is a parking lot. It's also fenced in, and it wouldn't really be any added cost to you guys. All we're asking for is to have that as you guys allowed to go skateboard there. We would just ask to get the goalposts removed. So we actually did a little survey today about the number of sports fields that we have in Morristown. So soccer fields, we have about 7, tennis courts about 12, basketball courts 13, we have 10 baseball fields and 13 playgrounds. So then my next question is, how many skateboard areas do we have in Morristown? 0. How many up-to-date skate parks do we have in Morris County? 0. So how many skate parks do we actually have in Morris County? We have 1, and that's in Lake Hiawatha. So I'm going to read you guys a quote. It's from njgrind.com, and he's a reputable skate park reviewer, and he reviewed the one park that we do have in Morris County. It says, "It's some of the strangest ramps I've ever seen in a skate park. The mini ramp is very narrow and can only be skated back and forth. A few obstacles come out of this very odd course, such as the up and down rail and the 2-block ledge, but for the most part, this is not a park worth going out of your way to." So as you guys can see, there's absolutely nowhere in Morris County to even go to. So again, we're here to ask to get the Granby Park as a dedicated skate area. I'll be honest with you guys, it was a little bit difficult for us to host the skate jam. It was a little expensive for us to provide the ramps, get the insurance, get all the other things that we had going that day. And, we have no problem with it. It's just obviously a little bit more expensive for us to continuously do that. The only skate safe area we have in Morristown, honestly, is our small 16-foot by 4-foot area in our skate shop right in front of our counter. And this is where we have kids come in asking us, where can I go skate? And I really just point to them right in front of our counter. That's kind of the only safe area we have in Morristown, where you don't have the fear of police, security, or cars. And another point that you guys had mentioned last time was, can you guys look into the, what is it called? The Morris County Parks Commission. So we did end up doing that. And my partner, Dimitri, he'll come up and talk to you guys more about what they ended up saying over there. And just this one last thing, I think we all noticed that Morristown is continuously having this corporate identity now. And I've grown up here. I'm 29 now. So I was born in Morristown Memorial Hospital. So I've seen Morristown transform from when I was a baby to what it is now. And I definitely do see it's more of a corporate area now. And I do feel that we are slowly losing our cultural aspect and the uniqueness that we used to have. So I don't want to see that phase away. And I do think skateboarding is a absolutely magnificent thing for anyone to enjoy. And we have a group of people here that they're all willing to come up here, or I don't want to say everyone, but whoever's willing to come up here, they're more than happy to explain to you guys that we do need somewhere to go. I can't keep telling parents when they come in, where can I bring my kid to skate? And I just look around like I have no idea. So if you guys can please look more into, can we have the Granby Park as just our area, and again, it wouldn't be no added cost to you guys. I think insurance would kind of be the only thing you guys have to really worry about. And then, we can provide ramps, whatever small obstacles we need to do. And then if we're going to get into more like construction projects, that obviously go through you guys first, and then we can head that way. So again, I do want to thank you guys for everything you guys have been doing, and I do think skateboarding is going to have a huge impact for this town and everyone around us. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on up.
Hi, good evening, council. My name is Dimitri Darsh from 30 East Lake Boulevard in Morristown. Man, dude, running the skate shop has been amazing. Like, that we were able to host that skateboard event and have an impact on people's lives felt so great. Like, the turnout was amazing. It was a time to be there. And that's what I want to try to keep recreating with skateboarding. And having a permanent skate spot would really help make people feel more comfortable with skateboarding at any point in their life, no matter what age you are. Like that's what's great about skateboarding, is it bridges age groups. Like, you could be the youngest, you could be the oldest, and still have a relation through skateboarding. Like I'm trying to get at, skateboarding's all-inclusive, includes a growing number of women presence in skateboarding, even at the professional level, which is amazing to see and inspiring. I would also like to invite someone else up to come and speak a little bit about their firsthand experience skateboarding in this town since the skate shop has been open. And yeah, this has been a really great time running a skate shop, and I think the time would be great to start really pushing forward with.
I think you were going to talk about the county.
Park Commission, yes, and the Park Commission. So I went there last July 24th, and I spoke with them, and they are in full support of skateboarding being present, but they feel that they don't want to be responsible for the organization and maintenance of a skate park. So my question is, what could we do, or what would you like to see done? I guess at our right now suggested DIY proposal, what would you like to see in terms of safety? So I will end it with that, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can come up, and then the young gentleman in the front row can come up. You'll be next, okay?
Hello, I am McKenna McCafferty. I live at 181 South Street, and today I'm here to talk about how skateboarding has impacted my life. As a young female in society, ever since I was young, I was brought into the skateboarding world. All of my family loves the sport, so it always felt familiar to me. But unfortunately, my nerves have always gotten the better of me. I've always been nervous to skate, mainly because I always felt it was a male-dominated sport. And it always made me feel a little inferior. But finally, one day when Cultivate Skate Shop opened, I built up my courage to go in, and I was accepted into the community with open arms. Both the owners, Daniel and Dimitri, immediately made me feel welcome and safe. The skate community has made me feel unjudged, and I feel like I have a home away from home with them. But I do not have anywhere where I could skate freely. I even have an uncle on the police force that I've asked where are places I could skate safely in Morristown, and he has told me, honestly, I don't know. And that has always disappointed me. I don't know where I'm able to skate without feeling scared of being kicked out by security, chased by police, or getting hit by cars. So now to my next point regarding Cultivate's Skate Jam in July. This was my first time really seeing how large this community really is, and just how accepting they all really are. Everywhere you look, you saw people of all ages encouraging each other to do the absolute best, even if they failed 100 times. Everybody was safe and having an amazing time, and I hope to see more of that in the future. Following to my next point, I would like to talk about how I feel having a designated skate area will make a positive impact, not only on me, but other female skaters. Because obviously, as you could tell, I am a young female, and it's not safe for me to be out the street by myself, especially at night. But sometimes we want a place where we could feel safe and do what we love to do. I feel that George Granby Park is an amazing place to have that skate park. I feel it's perfect area because it's walkable distance from me. And as you know, I can't drive, and I don't always have a ride to go places, but I assume that's just the same for people my age. In conclusion, Cultivate has helped me socialize more and come out of my shell. I am homeschooled, so I don't get the same social interactions as I would get in public school, and Cultivate allows me to meet so many different people from all over. Thank you all again, and I hope you guys do what is right for the community.
Thank you. Come on up. There you go.
Got it.
There you go. Just hold it in your hand.
My name's Holden, and I'm from 19 Wellard Place, and I'm thinking that we should get a skate park because all the skateboarders would be there. There would be no people like skating around in the streets, and cars have to or cops no one would have to kick them out or tell them to leave. We would just stay in that spot. Also, I got into skateboarding when I was 7 actually. My cousin taught me, and then I learned a lot. And I'm thinking that we don't build stuff that doesn't have any runaways and stuff, because then we will still keep doing that. And I think that's all for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great.
Gentlemen.
Hello, my name is Victor Camargo, and I currently reside at 4 Green Tree Lane in Dover. Now, I was a
Sorry,
resident.
sir, can you spell your last name?
Oh, C as in cat, A, M as in Mike, A-R-G-O. I used to reside in Morristown for a whole year. I was living on 90 Chestnut Street up by Nonsense Park, and I've gotten to know Cultivate Skate Shop ever since they opened up. I think it's an amazing thing what they're doing. And yes, I do believe that having a skate park would be very beneficial, and it would avoid accidents, because at 56, I skateboard down the road, and I've noticed, certain drivers, they're not aware, and it's dangerous on the streets for these kids to be skating around. I believe that they deserve a skate shop, a skate park in the area, and I believe where they have proposed is the perfect place for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wants to speak in chambers? Ooh, okay, we're going to go here, and then we'll We'll get you next.
Hi, we're the Smiths. I've been at 90 Ogden for 15 years, and
I'm sorry, what are your first names?
Michelle and Doug Smith,
Thank you. And your address?
90 Ogden.
Thank you.
And I think maybe it's back to school night or something at TJ. So imagine if all those parents were available to be here tonight to tell you how they wanted a place for their children to be able to play safely, like another park. We're not all ball sport people, like they were talking about, all those sports, but my husband is was a skater, I guess, and takes me, as we travel and visit friends across the country, one of the things we do is we go to the local skate park, and we see people from toddlers to people in their 50s enjoying and being creative, getting exercise, and, we're not all team sport people, so I think that we should support this in our community.
Yep. Wow, I don't really know how to top that. My name's Doug. Skateboarding's an Olympic sport. It's not, it's not going away. It's not going anywhere. It's going to keep growing. And we need to support it, like full throttle. I'm surprised there's not 2 skate parks in this town, to tell you the truth. I don't want to sit here and say I don't get it, but every town around, there's skate parks everywhere, and we need one here for sure. And also, we're also talking about kids on bikes, scooters, all that stuff. Everybody needs like a place where they can safely, enjoy their sport. So let's just do this. Let's make it happen. Come on.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Hello. Hello? You guys can hear me? Hi, my name is Monica Colon, 71 Western. I'm a bit nervous. I'm with the Cultivate Skate Shop as well.
Please spell your last name.
Colon, C-O-L-O-N.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm here to support them as well. I am originally from New York City, where we have a bunch of parks, a bunch of skate parks for everyone, and I've been here since the beginning, and I'm witnessing how much of an impact this skate shop specifically is enhancing the children, and I believe this is great. The park would be great for mental health for children. As I was a child care counselor for many years, I do see that kids come into the shop to spend all their time, and they feel like a home away from home. And I think this will be a great a park location. I was there as well with the Skate Jam. It was a success, from toddlers to adults, just interacting with each other, letting themselves be free. As we were younger, I know we always wanted a place to feel where we can feel safe, and I think this would be a great idea and park for the town. I do see that you guys have a lot of historical structures and amazing, beautiful buildings that you guys should keep that way and keep the skaters off of your property. And this would be a great way to keep them away from the image that you guys are bringing. You guys don't want them skating in the beautiful parks that you guys have in the buildings. They're amazing. I think you should keep them clean, away from all that stuff. But I think this is great, and they're doing a great job. The children are happy, and I think doing this for the youth is the main idea, As we all grew up, we wanted somewhere safe, and I think this will be great for them. And this designated area will seem great. It's away from everything. There's really no homes further away, and there wouldn't be no noise. There's at least minimal money you guys have to put in. The park is already built. The floor is already done. The only thing that they request is the soccer fields goalies to come off, and from there, you guys work with each other, and, there will be a minimal input of funds to be, requested. And I think this will be a great place for your town. Thank you. Monica Colon.
Come on up. Hello.
Hi, my name's Jordan Gesko.
Can you please spell your last name?
Gesko. I do not reside in Morristown. I was born in Morristown. I'm from Bridgewater, New Jersey, 444 Garrettson Road. I came tonight to support the skate park. I believe we should have access to a skate park in general. Like it's like the best thing you can do as like a kid. Like there's not many like it's not like any other sport. It's hard to describe and put in words because there's no coach telling you what to do. It's like it's a form of expression. And after high school, I was lucky enough to become like a sponsored skater, and I got to travel like all over the country and experience like amazing things, a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to see. And now that I'm older, I'm back home, and I work in construction. But the thing is, I didn't have a place to go locally, so we had to build our own skate park. And luckily, we had support, and we did this through Hillsborough Township. And I'm originally from White House. And we went to town meetings there and tried to get parks built. It never really worked out. Kind of because there was private skate parks at the time that you had to go and pay. But we kind of need access to free skate parks. And like someone else said before, it's an Olympic sport. People make careers out of this. And yeah, people are amazing at what they do. Like some of these people are so talented. It's like otherworldly. And yeah, we really do need just more places to go in New Jersey in general. So that's why I came tonight, and I'm happy to support. And I really do hope that I see a skate park in Morristown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in chambers want to come up?
Mr.
Billy? Come on up, Billy.
Good evening. My name is Bill Byrne. I live at 100 Franklin Street, and I'm here to talk about the Arc Walkathon, and that's happening September 30th. And this is the thing here, and they're having an Oktoberfest. They're having a DJ, and it's like really nice because the Knights of Columbus, which I'm a part of, they're going to be working with the food up there. And I also just made Grand Marshal of the walkathon that the ARC voted me in for. And so I'll be way up in the front with the walkers. But what I like to ask everybody today is, okay, with budgets getting tight on the state level and also on the federal level, as budgets getting tighter, okay, it's really hard for agencies like the ARC, to get more direct care staff dollars and stuff like that, so that they can hire, direct care staff. And this is like vitally important because it also, all the programs, services that they run every year, okay, and because state budgets are getting tight now, federal budgets are getting tight, so the money has to come from somewhere. So sadly, it has to come from the community, because isn't what this community is all about, is supporting one another in the community. When it comes to people with special needs and to make them feel welcome. So I think it's vitally important Now, I know Councilman Umbriak, he already sponsored me already, but I think it's vitally important, to sponsor me because, this money that is raised, it doesn't go in anybody's pockets. It goes right to the services that they provide. So, please, I got some sponsor sheets right in my pocket. And I'd like people to, sponsor me or donate, whatever you want to do. If you decide to donate, there's a Q code right here. I got brochures. I think I'm going to ask this, if you could pass these around, take some.
Sure will.
You can send the donation in, or if you decide to sponsor me, and you do like a check or whatever, make sure you put my name on the bottom, because then I get the credit. And so I got a couple of sponsor sheets here. I had to make them myself because they don't make the sponsor sheets. So I handmade them. And so this one's free. Got one right here. Also have an extra one that's blank. So just bear with me. Okay.
Thank you.
Just put down how much or whatever, And I got a blank one here if anybody needs that, But I also ask the public to get involved too, because we're supposed to be a community.
It's upside down, Billy.
Upside down, that would help. Yeah, we're supposed to be a community, help one another. So I also ask the public if they want to donate, sponsor. Be very much appreciative. You can do it online. And there's like if you want to take a picture of it or whatever.
Billy, why don't you face Kevin? He'll take a picture of it. Why don't you
Okay.
face Kevin?
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Can you give him cash?
Thank you, Billy.
Well, thank you for your time. Don't want to take up too much time, but if you want to walk, come and walk. It's going to be fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Is anybody else in the chambers? Margot, is there anybody online? The hand raised?
No.
Okay, we are going to close public comments now, and we'll move on to council response for the public hearing of comments. Who wants to start?
I'll start. So thank you, Ms. Holland, for coming out. She had reached out to me about her concerns about Pocahontas Park. I do want to tie it into the proposed skate park, and it's, it all boils down to enforcement, keeping the parks safe, keeping them clean. I want to thank Daniel, Dimitri, McKenna, Holden, Victor, Michelle and Doug, Monica and Jordan for coming out in Moss. It certainly makes a big difference when you come out, and I understand the importance of skateboarding. I grew up with skateboarders. I have kids that are interested in skateboarding. I think it's important to make sure that we have a clean and safe dedicated space, because I know that skateboarders get kicked out from, all over the place, and I do see skateboarders in the road. That's certainly a safety issue and a concern of mine. I think you're doing the right thing. I think that you're coming out to public meetings. You're not backing down. You're together, and I think that's great. I think there's definitely continued conversations to be had. I want to hear what other council members have to say, but I think that's great. And also, Amanda, thank you for coming out in support of the sidewalk sales. Learning Express is a treasure in the town, and we'll have further discussions about that this evening.
All right.
Now, we do have Amanda's topic on the...
Yes, new business, so we'll be talking about that.
For
new business.
So, Amanda, if you could stick around for that, if you would. Rich, thanks for bringing up the lumberyard again. I did talk with Jillian this afternoon. She did refer the matter to property maintenance. I think the better thing to do, rather than answering you tonight, unless Jillian's ready to answer anything, but give us a couple of weeks. Thanks for vocalizing it. Even though you're the only one here raising the topic, I do know that it is an ongoing concern with several people in the neighborhood, the way that property is maintained. We do have some regulations on the books, but let us do some homework on it. And is that, what do you think, Jillian? Better way of doing it? Great. Thanks, Jill.
Just some brief comments. The Pocahontas Park, my wife and I have cleaned it up. You get, every once in a while. It's a disaster. I know that the issue came up a year ago. I think there was a total groups came in and we were parking, and I think the town actually closed the access to the field for a period of months. So it is a problem and it needs a solution. And hopefully the administration can figure out what that solution is. With regard to the skate park, I applaud you guys for coming out. My kids grew up in Morristown and they never had any place to go. You can go to the movies when a movie comes out and pay your $12 or whatever, but that's not really a social thing. And I know that the skate community is a strong community and they take care of each other. So I applaud that. I'd be in favor of that. I'm curious what the use of the number of people that use the football, soccer field, whatever the thing is. And we do have a number of other similar fields around, but curious what the use.
I think the space that you guys were referencing is actually a tennis court.
Football. No, it's a
foosball.
It's
futsal. Never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Foosball.
If I can interject, Councilman, the futsal court at Granby Park was actually grant-funded and is relatively new.
Right.
So it's really, because of the grant funding, we really wouldn't be able to remove it, even if it didn't have activity, but I do believe it is used on a regular basis.
It seems like there is a huge community and it's growing and I think it's just a matter of there's not a big community. It's just a matter of how many people can they bring to a meeting. It's I think we need to address it at some point. We can't just say, well, every field is every court is used and every field is used, so you get nothing. And so I think that's, I encourage you guys to keep coming back and hopefully we'll come to some agreement.
Keep coming back, but what are we going to do? I mean,
Well,
let me finish my thought.
Sure.
Really. They do keep coming back, and they're looking for some answers, and we have limited park space in town. I do think that you did do some good diligence with the county, and you did follow up on the county, but if I heard you right, what the county said was they had concerns about, quote-unquote, the organization and the maintenance, okay? Getting the park organized, getting some kind of plan in place for maintenance, that's something that the county does have funds to do. The county can do that. It's going to boil down to, with the county, I think, issues of insurance, because they do have open space and they do have more park space for this. They have park space that's out, not near any neighborhoods. I honestly think that the disservice we might be doing to you is not helping you enough with the county, okay? Because if it's a matter of going to a Board of Commissioners meeting at the county level and saying, we want a park, okay, they're going to have this dialogue, you keep going to them. You're going to keep coming here, you're going to keep going there. You need an answer, okay? You need an answer. And I think that if you need help, and I'll volunteer to help you, Nathan, I'll go to the county with you and say, okay, exactly what do you mean, okay? And say to them, they're not giving an answer.
Yeah.
Just like we're sitting here, we're not giving an answer, okay? Because we're not giving an answer because we don't really have the park. That was a site that you located, but what park do we have? It's a town where we're fighting for more park space
in town. We're trying to, open up pocket parks and what have you. So you got to start going to the point of most least resistance. And I hate to say it this bluntly, but let us help you go to the county, okay? Because I don't see any, you can come here for another meeting. You're welcome here anytime you want. But where?
Well,
Somebody tell me where.
I think the question comes down to, the main, what was your name, sir? Sorry, the main guy basically talked about. Daniel, he talked about, there are 13, tennis courts and such number, I live off of near Elliott Street, and there's a single tennis court there, and we get people from all over town at our Elliott Street playground, playing tennis, so it's a matter of does every neighborhood get their own, field? And that's not, that's the open question. If there are 10 tennis courts in town, well, every tennis court is being used. Well, does that mean that the skateboarders get nothing? That's the question. There's football courts that are being funded in town. And we went after grants for them, and I can appreciate that they're built and people are now using them. How do we go after grants for skateboard parks? A conversion of a place. So I think the easy thing to do is just push it to the county. Most of the skateboard community probably likes to walk or ride their bikes. It's a long way to Central Park in the county, but I agree it's not an easy question. We don't have the real estate. We would be pushing out other people, and it's hard to make a decision that pisses off some people and makes other people happy.
So we have to deliberate on that issue, rather than just, pushing it off, and make a decision. The answer may be yes, the answer may be no, but we've got to give an answer, okay?
Where do you see the county coming forward if we went to a county meeting on their behalf?
Well, the county, I don't know what they meant when they said to these young people, it's a matter of, quote-unquote, organization and maintenance. Okay, yes, you have to organize it, you have to plan it, you have to pick a spot, you have to understand what the insurance requirements are, you've got to understand who's going to construct it, you then go out for grants. That's what the county does too. They hire companies like we hire Millennial, they'll go out and they'll file for grants. It's that process that the county has to go through. The county, other than these young people coming there and speaking about it once or twice, what I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing that there's no skate parks, then there's skate parks, and there's nothing around here.
Right.
So the county might have an obligation, okay? Because quite frankly, do they have one in Hanover? Do they have one in Rockaway? Do they have one in Randall? No, okay? So it's going to be a big draw wherever you do put this, okay? And if it's a county service, maybe it should be on county land, okay? But if we want to, I don't think it's fair. If you guys are serious about allowing a skate park in town, then sit down with everybody at the table and let's decide where it can possibly be. But just don't keep kicking the can down the street.
Tawana mentioned something at Caldwell, but I don't know what she was talking about. She said she was thinking about Caldwell, an extra basketball court. I don't know. I'll reach out to her and find out. I thought she'd be here to talk about it tonight, but she's not. So, and to Ms. Solomon, just so you know, Shade Tree Commission went out and cleaned Pocahontas Park one time for a big event that we were having and picked up every shard of glass and painted the cistern. And 3 weeks later, when we had the event, we had to clean it all over again. So it's been an ongoing issue. Unfortunately, even with garbage cans there, sometimes they get filled up, and it's really just a matter of sometimes people don't care. They think it's funny to smash a bottle onto a rock.
Sorry, no comment.
And it will be another cleaning in October.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yes, from the Shade Tree Commission. And I think that probably one of the solutions will be supervision.
I think one of the best solutions is community involvement.
Right.
So if you can band with your neighbors and, band together and organize cleanups and put up, be out and be active. That's the best thing you can do. Set an example. I pick up garbage all over town all the time. And maybe you inspire somebody to take more pride in their community. We have great examples like Foots Pond, for example. It's become this great location in town, and it's because the community got involved and partnered together and keep it clean, keep it organized. So I recommend that you do that. Partner with your community, within your neighborhood, to monitor it, to manage it, to pick up the garbage, to escalate complaints, issues that you see. But if you band together, you'll be much stronger as a community.
And I think one of the issues here is because, yes, neighbors could go and clean, but who wants to go and clean after another person that was there? So I go back to one of my phrases that I say here about community education. Mm-hmm. We have to educate some people, so when they go there, they use the park and they throw the garbage in the proper place and they leave the park better than what they found.
Right.
All right. Okay, we will be closing the council response and moving on to mayor's proclamations and presentations.
Okay, I'm going to respond to a couple of the comments that the public brought up. First is Anderson Street. Police chief, heard the complaint on that park, Pocahontas Park. Enforcement needs to be on a regular basis, period. That's it. Okay? Thank you.
You got it.
Oh, sorry. That's the first step. I did close the park. Is it on? I hate these mics. I did close the park, and I didn't want to reopen it because of this purpose. However, I was kind of guided to open it back up because why punish people who live there not to be able to use the park when they see fit? It really just comes down to enforcement. Education is always important, but it's simple. If there's people in the park after dark, drinking or doing stuff like that, there has to be enforcement, and that's it on bottom line. And I am now charging the police chief, so you don't have to come here again and complain about garbage in the park. Second thing, skate park. Where's all the skate park people? Where's Kenny Murphy's? So I grew up with your dad.
Oh, that's my uncle.
Well, your uncle, yeah. Where is he?
Right, yeah.
There he is. Okay, so I grew up with the Murphys in West Orange, so appreciate you coming out and being a voice. That was a family that was always strong in what they believe in. Yeah, it's a tough thing. One of the things that the owner of the shop said that concerns me is he said something, and they'll correct me if I'm wrong when I look at the minutes, is it's expensive to do, and I get it. Let me finish. It's when you said insurance. So what I need to understand was he referring to the town to insure? Because one of the reasons why you don't see skate parks in a lot of these towns, Chatham, Madison, Chatham Township, is because of insurance liability. Now, you can say that people can sign a waiver and then your town's indemnified. You still get sued.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a concern. And I know, in other communities, that's a concern. I appreciate the passion. I was not a skateboarder. My younger brother was, and he was very good. And I do see them in town, and I know a bunch of them. And I know Bruce Murphy. He was a skateboarder for a long time because he's been in my office, and he goes back to when he was skateboarding on a regular basis in my office, trying to figure it out. So I'll sit with the council. I think Councilman Iannacone made an attempt to get a better look at, and maybe we do talk to the county, but why don't we maybe take it a step even a little shorter and talk to the township mayor? And maybe we could do something jointly with the township. Because look, I get it. You guys are passionate about skateboards. And it's cool. And I want to thank the woman who talked about protecting the properties. Yes, the private properties of people that have invested millions of dollars into this community that get damaged by skateboards because there's no place for kids to skateboard. That's a legitimate argument. I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. And we will talk to the council and see what we can figure out, but, make sure that we have your contact information. I don't know if I do. If not, call my office. I'll come by your shop. I'll have a chat with you, and we'll see what we can work out. All right? Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Billy, you're the man. That's all I'm going to say about that. You are the man. Pastor. Come on.
Yes,
I know, I see some people over there.
They are no longer here.
Come on, bring them up.
Okay. Yes, Jorge, Maria Elena.
No, that's why I didn't do that.
Mami.
I know your wife's here. Hey, man, how you doing?
Mami, ven.
Pastor Silva's wife.
If you're Latinos, come here. If you're Latinos, come here. Yes, I know Arias and Colon, probably from Puerto Rico. Surprise. It's good.
You hear you thought you were for skateboards and you're really not.
Yes, very good. Very good.
I know that kid. I know you. I've seen you before.
Kevin just got kicked out of his seat.
Now, I'm going to do something I don't usually do. As a mayor, I read the proclamation, but I'm going to ask you to read the proclamation.
Can you read it into the microphone so we could hear it?
I'm going to ask Councilman Silva to read the proclamation as it is to recognize National Hispanic Heritage Month. I think it's appropriate that our leading Latino in the government here read this into the record. So I'm actually going to pass this torch to you right now.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. First of all, it's a privilege and it's an honor to read this proclamation. Some years I have been standing alone, maybe one or two Latino communities members, and today we have many here. I'm proud of that. Mami, ven. My mom is visiting from Colombia. She's leaving in a few weeks. She doesn't speak English.
That's okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So here we have some members of the community. Some of them are small business owners, including Daniel Arias. And I'm glad that you're here. Estoy contento de que estén acá porque es bueno que representar la comunidad latina. So let's go ahead. Proclamation. Whereas September 15 through October 15 is recognized as National Hispanic Heritage Month and is marked by celebrations highlighting the achievements of Hispanic and Latino Americans and their contributions made to our communities, and whereas Hispanics have had a profound and positive influence in our country through their strong commitment to family, faith, hard work and service. They have enhanced and shaped our character with centuries-old traditions that reflect multi-ethnic and multicultural customs of their community, and whereas Hispanic Heritage Month was first observed in 1968 under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover 30-day period. September 15 is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16 and September 18, respectively. Also, Columbus Day or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12, falls within this 30-day period. And whereas the term Hispanic or Latino refers to Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish culture of origin regardless of race. On the 2010 census, from people of Spanish, Hispanic, and Latino origin could identify themselves as Mexican, Mexican American, Chicano, Puerto Rican or Puertorriqueño, Cuban, or another Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin. And whereas National Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to honor the contributions Hispanics have made throughout our history and acknowledge their positive impact on our community. Now, therefore,
Say your name.
I say my name, okay. I'm David Silva, as councilman at large, community leader of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim September 15 through October 15, 2023 as National Hispanic Heritage Month in the town of Morristown, and I encourage Morristown residents, community organizations, and local officials to observe this month with the appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programming, and is signed by our Mayor, Timothy Dory.
Congratulations.
Yes, I just want to say some words before. Put that for a week in your business, and I'll pick it up in a week, okay? And then we give you 1 week to put it there too. Yes. Of course.
For safety.
Sí, por una semana lo pone ahí, okay. I'm honored to not only to receive on behalf of the Latino community this proclamation, but to read it. Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to say, the first thing that I want to say is that Mayor always have been supportive of the Latino community in Morristown, and we should clap for that. I'm glad today I'm not alone here. I have members of our Latino community, and that's a good way to start the celebration of this month. Today, we're able to celebrate our heritage because the history made by many immigrants before us and to this country, like here in Morristown, the Colombians and the Hondurans came about 40 years ago. So the Latino community is not that new in Morristown. There are many Hispanic old families here. There are newcomers, but there are also people who have few generations here. So I encourage my fellow Morristownians to make this celebration successful by learning more about our cultures, struggles, virtues, and contributions. And you can go to a Hispanic restaurant and have some arroz y habichuela. As a group in our country, Hispanics have made significant contributions for generations. One of the things that I learned a few years ago is that on Second World War, it was 500,000 Hispanic Americans serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, and that contributed to 3.1% of the U.S. Armed Forces on that war. Some things that sometimes people don't know, and they think that we just newcomers and we don't have a tradition, but we have a long tradition in the United States. Latinos have had the opportunity to thrive by bringing their talents to our country in all areas of life: sports, arts, science, and many other disciplines. Of course, I'm concerned about the challenges and issues that we have in our community, and that's why we have to work together, all of us. And when I say all of us, it's each one of us. And of course, we will include faith-based organizations, churches, non-for-profit businesses, school, local government, so we can create educational programs that will help them to be participants as members of the community. One of the things that I'm going to say today, and it will sound repetitive because I said it last year, but I will say it in different words, is we have to remember that the immigration wave of Hispanics and Latinos to our country has been controversial because a broken immigration system. So now, saying that is, since immigration reform depends on politicians in Washington who benefit politically by not doing anything about it, we at local level must continue working with immigrants so they can advance their lives and become great contributors in our community and in our nation. We continue to strive for unity, breaking down stigma, barriers, and biases, and move towards progression and change for the better. It is easy to criticize a newcomer, but we don't know the background behind that. And I have many stories that I can tell you. We need to reshape our perception of Hispanics and Latinos in our community and in our country. The presence of Latinos in the United States impacts its economy, and the purchasing power of Hispanics is $2 trillion a year, trillions with T. In the last decade, Latinos start small businesses in a greater way than other minorities. So they have created jobs, services, and have increased the purchasing power. The average Latino has contributed in ways that have not been appreciated. Vast number of them work in jobs that other people don't take, especially in the time that we live in right now. And we must notice that Latinos have contributed in many other fields. For example, we have one member in our Supreme Court. We have few senators, Latinos. We have members of Congress. We have doctors, scientists, astronauts, and many people that have, from the Latino community, that have give a great contribution to our country. One of the things that gives me hope is our youth. And we always work with our youth, young people. Today's young Hispanic and Latino Americans, they will be our future teachers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, business owners, entrepreneurs, but also electricians, plumbers, and other trade professions. There is no doubt that young Hispanic and Latino Americans will continue to contribute in a greater numbers to the success of our nation. And I personally can relate with the immigrants because 34 years ago, my wife and I came with 2 little daughters. And through hard work, through learning the American culture, because we are Americans and we love USA. This is our country, this is our home. We're not going back anywhere. We don't retire back to the place where we came from. We will retire here, I don't know, maybe Florida, maybe North Carolina. We love our country so much, and Mayor knows how much I love Morristown. I always say Morristown is the best place on earth. It's not Disney, it's Morristown. So I have a dream, and the dream is to see our young generations to fulfill their dreams and to contribute for the betterment of our society and our nation. And I'm committed to that, and I thank God because with the support of my wife, my family, the bringing that my mother gave me, I have done good things in life for the glory of God and for the benefit of many people. For those that don't know, I'm a pastor. I came 21 years ago to Morristown to start a church from zero. Today we have 4 campuses, Morristown, Dover. We own the Baker Theater. We have Long Branch, Kearney, and we have sent missionaries, Latino missionaries, from Morristown to Nicaragua, Colombia, and Costa Rica. We have planted churches and we support those churches. That's besides the work that we do in our community, educating people, helping people to thrive. United States doesn't have an assimilation program for immigrants like Europe, but in our church we teach the people what is the proper way to live in this country and how they will become successful. So thank you very much. God bless you, and Dios les bendiga.
Thank you, Councilman, that was lovely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
May, do you want to move on to reports?
Yeah, I got a few more.
Okay.
I'll be brief. August 17th, Meet Me in Morristown was the last of 2023. That was Thursday, August 17th. For those who attended Knights of Columbus 125th anniversary, congratulate congratulations to the Knights of Columbus. That was on September 8th, I was away. And on Saturday the 9th, which I was also away, Atlantic Health had its annual Community Health Day at Atlantic Center in Hamilton Elementary School. Anybody who was there, thank you for attending. Saturday, September 16th, that is this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Fall Rabies Clinic at Town Hall. You can pre-register by 973-292-6731. Walk-ins are welcome. This will all be on the website. We'll get it all out on our Facebook and Instagram posts and all that stuff. But just, Kevin might put a little blurb in there for the rabies clinic. Thanks, Kevin. Thursday, the 21st, is a ribbon cutting. If anybody wants to join, it's 5:30. It's Forever Young, an anti-aging clinic offering aesthetic and wellness treatments, located at 40 Market Street, Suite 3B. I guess maybe, Bob, you and I should go to that.
Maybe you.
Come on. Friday, September 22nd, mark your calendars, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Jazz Festival kicks off at Patriots Plaza from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's Friday night. And then Saturday, the 23rd, from noon till 10 p.m., we have our Jazz Festival on the Green. It's free. Come anytime, day or night. On Sunday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, we'd like you to do this in Spanish. Coffee with a Cop. Join your neighbors and police officers for coffee and conversation at Rico Pan Bakery, 159 Speedwell Avenue.
What is the date?
Can you repeat that?
Yes.
It's the 24th.
Septiembre 24, de 9:30 a 2 de la tarde, café con un policía. Para que conocer a los vecinos, que la policía pueda tener relación con los policías, y conversación será en la panadería Rico Pan en la 159 Speedwell Avenue.
All right, so it's a perfect opportunity for our skate guys. Coffee with a Cop, and you got the date. So that'll be a great success. Noon to 5, Morristown Partnership Fall Festival. I'm sure somebody's going to speak about that. And then on October 11th, this will be posted, it'll be sent out. There's a fire prevention at 11:30 a.m., October 11th, and a safety seminar in the Morristown Senior Center. Topics will include use of fire extinguishers, general fire prevention, cooking safety, home oxygen safety, fire and carbon monoxide alarms, home heating safety, and more. Lunch will be served. So make sure we get that out to your prospective seniors. That's a real informative thing. And I will end it on this. For those who don't know, our councilwoman at large, Toshiba Foster, has been in the hospital. It'll be 4 weeks this Friday. I spent some time with her last night. She is recovering, but she is on a long road. So keep her in her thoughts and prayers as she continues to face challenges. And then to know that we think of her often, and so send her a text, say hello, and just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She's had a tough couple of weeks, but she's a trooper, and she's battling, and she's recovering, and she's going to be great, and she will be back sooner than we know. All right, thank you, Council President.
Thank you. We're going to move on to council liaison reports. Who wants to go first? Because I'm doing double duty tonight, so I'll go first. Sorry. All right. So I am doing the Shade Tree report. Last Saturday, the Shade Tree Commission, Rotary Club, and Councilman Umbriak weeded the Granby Pollinator Garden. We removed 20 feet of Japanese knotwood, porcelainberry vine, and other invasives, planted native flowers, and then mulched. The sassafras grouping that we found and protected last year has grown exponentially and is thriving. This will be a several-year process until the Japanese knotweed is dead and the natives have taken over. Special thanks to Councilman Umbriak's children, who did a great job helping out, and the fall planting bid is almost ready to go. And now, moving on to the Parking Authority. I know, I never have these meetings. So this is really exciting. So the Parking Authority, the Parking Authority will install 2 solar canopies on the top levels of the DeHart and Dalton garages for a total system of 987.8 kilowatts, with remote net metering. 20 new EV charging stations will replace the 4 existing charging stations in DeHart and Dalton. And 5 new EV charging stations will replace the 2 existing charging stations in the Ann Bank Street garage. There was some more detail, but it was very technical, so I left it off. Ann and Bank Street, the remedial parking garage, the remedial repairs, year 1 are anticipated to be ongoing through the end of the year. The Skylar entrance was opened on September 2nd, thankfully. It is anticipated the Skylar exit will open in approximately 2 weeks. And I am done with that. And who?
Just one point on the Parking Authority report. I did inquire from the Parking Authority about the 1776 basically uses 4 spots for 3 spots on Speedwell Avenue next to the bike lane on their side. They also use unmarked bollards to block off 1 spot on the Century 21 side, and finally got a confirmation from the Parking Authority that they actually have authorization to do that. So I'd been asking for that for a month or so, but appreciate them getting back to me. So,
Okay, thank you. Do you have a housing report?
No, Housing Authority has not had a meeting since I last reported. Their next meeting is here on the 4th floor of Town Hall on September 25th.
Okay.
Morristown Environmental Commission, they had a meeting last Tuesday, September 5th. They welcomed a new member of the commission, Bob Upton. They talk more broadly about planning the fall town cleanup. They have a tentatively scheduled for October 21st. A subcommittee was formed for the planning of it, and they want to build on the success that they have on the spring cleanup, where there were 300 attendees.
Thank you.
Partnership meets tomorrow morning, other than what the mayor said about the Fall Festival on the Green, on Sunday, the 1st of October, starting at noon.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to move on, Margot. Margot, you're up, you're back.
I'm
It's been a while.
Okay, moving on to regular business. There are 3 ordinances for introduction this evening. The first one being Ordinance O-26-2023, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 3 Police Regulations, specifically Section 3-8.3 of the Town of Morristown Municipal Code.
I will make a motion to introduce ordinance O-26-2023.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
I have a couple comments. I understand the administration is working on getting bike racks in town. I've worked with the administration to offer 40 or so bike racks, or at least funding for 40 or so bike racks for a while, and I understand that they're moving forward on that. First of all, there's 2 parts to this. The first is addressing abandoned bicycles, and I think that's an outstanding element, and I'm all in favor of that. I do have always supported the adding sufficient bike racks in town, and then at the same time restricting bikes from locking up to trees, which I know the Shade Tree Commission doesn't like, or locked up to parking meters, which I know that the Parking Authority doesn't like, or locked up to the decorative light poles, which I know that the partnership doesn't like. But at this time, we don't have the bike racks in place, and so if we adopt this law, basically, without bike racks in town, we're basically telling the bicycle community that you don't have a place here, don't come to Morristown, because you will get a ticket if you park your bike to anything but the dozen or so bike racks that are broadly located in the district. So my recommendation is to table this until the administration can put the bike racks in town. I don't, I have full confidence that you will eventually get that to happen, but I think it would be frankly, a slap in the face to the bicycle community to restrict all bikes from being locked up to anything but a few bike racks. And I question whether or not that would actually prohibit, violate the complete streets policy, but that's my thought on that, but I'll defer to be interested to hear from the rest of the council or the administration, so.
Councilman, if I may?
Sure.
Part of my concern is installing bike racks without something that allows us to remove abandoned bicycles, then just invites additional abandoned bicycles. And if you look even today, up and down Speedwell Avenue, on the existing bike racks, there are at least a dozen bikes that I can think of off the top of my head that are already abandoned, that have been there for several months, and we right now don't have the legal authority to enforce that. So I don't want to add additional bike racks to then just add additional bikes to be strewn across the road. So the idea is to really get this in place in tandem with the bicycle racks being included or added on the road. I did send you a list, you may not have seen it yet, with over a dozen locations where we're going to add bike racks in addition to the bike racks that are already existing. My concern is I don't want to proliferate the issue while providing that amenity. So the intent is to have the bike racks installed with the enforcement mechanism in place so that we can manage and maintain them so that the bike racks that are installed are available to the people who need them.
Clarify for me, my reading of the ordinance was that it was just addressing the issue of abandonment.
Correct.
No. Is that, am I correct?
That is absolutely the intent.
It's just abandonment. So no one's disagreeing with the need for more bike racks. But my reading of the ordinance as presented was the modification was addressing the issue of what do you do with abandoned bikes?
Correct.
Bikes that have basically been out there for a while.
Yes.
It's not like we're going out and looking for bikes that people are riding and parking. You're looking for bikes that have been there for 2 or 3 days, correct?
Correct.
And that I believe that was the intent, but the language of the ordinance, and perhaps, we can look at it, it does say that any bike basically no bike shall be locked up to anything that is not designated for a bicycle. Which basically means that you'll get a ticket if you park your bike to anything that's not a bike rack.
But that's in the existing ordinance too. Just so you know, because I read the red line version.
Okay.
That's actually what's in the existing ordinance.
Correct. The only thing that the new ordinance addresses is the abandoned bicycle piece.
Abandonment issue.
Correct.
Jillian, can you send the rest
Yeah,
of us
but that's a good
the
point,
proposed locations of the bike racks, just so we're aware of them in case people
Sure.
ask us? Thank you.
Just a question, Jillian, maybe you can answer. It says any abandoned bicycles would be disposed of. Is there an opportunity maybe to donate them to like Market Street Mission if they're in semi-decent condition, or is that something that?
So I believe, and I'll defer this to the town attorney, but my understanding is once they're in our possession, we hold them for 6 months and then they're auctioned. I don't
Okay.
believe we have an opportunity to do anything other than auction them.
Certainly, but we can make certain entities aware of the auction.
Yeah, I know Market Street Mission in the past has requested bicycles, people to donate unused bicycles, so.
When we have that auction, we'll make sure that they're aware.
Okay, thank you.
So I think to the point of Councilman Armington, that if there is a wide area where there are not bike racks, at this point we cannot find them if there are no bike racks. If there is a wide area, a zone in the town where there are none bike racks, and if somebody puts the bike there, will they give them a ticket? That's the question.
What are they attached to?
We have not done that, and there's no intent to do that going forward.
Okay.
The intent of the proposed ordinance is simply the change about abandoned bicycles. If you leave your bicycle for 30 days and it has not moved and it remains attached to something, then we will confiscate it and hold on to it for 6 months. If you still have not claimed it after 6 months, then we have the ability to auction it.
Okay, yes.
Simple as that.
And who do you envision will enforce the ordinance?
The police will do the initial sweep. What will happen is after 14 days, if the same bicycle is in the same place, it'll put a sticker on it and say, this is kind of like you do on the highway. This bicycle's been identified as being abandoned, if you don't remove it within a certain period of time, then it will be confiscated. And then we'll hold it probably in the DPW garage like everything else for the next 6 months until we can auction it. So I envision kind of doing auctions twice a year. I've had similar legislation in other towns that I've worked in, and, you know, it works pretty successfully.
And I'll ask the question that Councilman Silva would ask. Are those tags going to be bilingual?
I will ensure that they are
Yes,
bilingual.
please.
Yes, very good point.
Well, Avenue. You're welcome.
Yes, I will ensure that the
Very
stickers are
important.
bilingual.
Okay,
That
Margot?
one.
Learn from you.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-26-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance O-26-2023 has been properly introduced by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 26th. Ordinance number O-27-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 5 of the revised general ordinances of the town of Morristown entitled Animal Control.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance O-27-2023.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
Just, so $5 for a replacement tag?
Yeah.
Okay,
For cats and dogs.
right.
Dogs are separate.
You're missing one?
No. All right.
Yes,
That's fine.
my mic was off, yes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-27-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance O-27-2023 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 26th. Ordinance O-28-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 5 of the revised general ordinances of the town of Morristown entitled Animal Control.
I will make a motion to introduce ordinance O-28-2023.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? On the-
$5? $5 for that?
On the introduction of ordinance O-28-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance O-28-2023 has been has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after public hearing on September 26th. We have two ordinances for public hearing and adoption. Ordinance number O-24-2023, an ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 40.2, handicap parking on streets for private residences, to add 2 dedicated handicap parking spaces for residents of 7 Henry Street.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance O-24-2023.
I'll second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-24-2023. If there are any members,
Is anybody on Zoom?
I'll close the public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-24-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance O-24-2023 is adopted. Ordinance number O-25-2023, ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-12.2, time limit metered parking, and Section 37 loading zones.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance O-25-2023.
I'll second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-25-2023 only.
So we won't have any more street parking.
Seeing no comments, hearing no comments, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-25-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance O-25-2023 is adopted. There are 9 resolutions for adoption this evening. Do any members of council wish to pull any for separate consideration?
Margot, can you pull 127?
Yeah.
Any others? Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-123, 2023 through R-126, 2023, and R-128, 2023 through R-131, 2023.
I will make a motion for that.
I will second.
On the adoption of those ordinances, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Mayor?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number R-127-2023, a resolution granting a waiver of taxi cab and limousine fees for the 2023-2024 licensing year.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution R-127-2023.
I'll second.
Councilman?
Margaret, just a point of clarification. At the prior meeting at 6:30 this evening, did we say that all the applications were in, and so is this retro? Did they have to pay their fees associated with all those catch-up on the applications?
Yes, so this is indeed retro. This is part of my efforts to get us back on track to where we were. If you look at the original ordinance from 2016, the waiver of fees is not a blanket waiver. It is to be approved by council every year based on a written request from each licensee.
So in those applications that you were referring to, did everybody file a fee because the
No,
fee was
no
not
fee
waived?
So the fee has been waived every year since 2016.
Okay, so this is for what year?
This is for the current year, 2023, 2024. What fell off the radar was the actual resolution.
Right, so we haven't voted or spoken about a resolution since 2016.
With the applications that you accepted, you did not collect a fee?
No, but I did collect a written request.
That's my question.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, did not understand.
I do think, based on our prior conversations surrounding the prior meeting about the taxis, what I'd like to do also, Council President, is maybe work with administration on reviewing that whole entire ordinance. Because I think I've run through it several times, I think there's some inconsistencies and some clarifications, and based on our prior discussion tonight at 6:30, I think we can do a better job with that ordinance. So maybe do that quickly, and if you
Absolutely.
need help, there's a group of us here that will help.
That's
you
at the
with
top. Yeah, that was my very first draft, based on one conversation that we had. So there are your comments to take into consideration. There is other information that I have since learned that I think needs to be reflected in the amended ordinance. So we are working on that. It's at the top of the list.
The question I had with regard to this resolution is, and again, based on the substantial number of violations of the applicant, licensee that we discussed earlier, can we address this similar to insurance companies, whereby if you have if over the year period you don't have any violations, then you get free, your fees waived, and if you do have violations, then your fees not waived? Would that incentivize licensees?
You might incentivize them not to report to you like they have not been reporting to you all along.
But, it would be.
I don't know. Like I had recommended, if the incentive to waive the fee is get all of your stuff in before the July meeting. And if you don't, and you don't get your fee waived, or you don't get your paperwork in for renewal, then you pay the fee.
What's the level, I mean, typically, the fee is commensurate with the level of effort required by the clerk's office to process, or the town to process the fees.
You're correct with the clerk's office.
What's the level of effort? I mean, should we, are we basically spending money to, well, let me see. Is the clerk's office spending hours on each application and not being essentially compensated? The taxpayers are compensating the town for waiving the fees, or do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I don't know if I can quantify that exactly, but I can tell you going forward that it's not going to take hours and hours per application.
Okay.
I'm not going to allow it.
But I think the point you're bringing up, there is a certain matter of economics here. And I think the purpose, the original action that we took 4 or 5 years ago was because of the competition from Uber. And I think the other thing that we were discussing at the prior meeting is the importance of maintaining taxi services, because a lot of people don't use Uber. Uber's rates fluctuate based on demand. There's no predictability as to what they're going to charge. Taxis are more reliable. They will go into every area of town. There's a lot of benefits to maintaining a taxi system. But the reason why we have this ordinance is really so we can set the rates also that are associated with it. So I think it is a matter of...
So the public benefit
I think it's that matter of the public benefit, but also that global conversation with the taxi companies, charging a fee, and what is the fee that we allow them to charge. Because I think one of the other things we need to look at is particularly with with some of the food services leaving town, not having A&P, not having affordable groceries in town, because you really can't expect people to be shopping at King's or Whole Foods. Can you even expand that circle of that blanket, quote-unquote, in-town fee? That basically it's that fixed fee wherever you go. Maybe we have to broaden that circle, even maybe beyond town's boundaries, and see the legalities of having that discussion too.
Well, it would be imperative to include ShopRite, since that's what most of
You
the...
really want to include ShopRite.
And
Right.
Lidl. Lidl's coming
And
across the
Lidl,
street.
too.
For affordability.
So it's like a 5-mile radius, you would talk. So do you want to, adopt this resolution
No, I think
and
this
then...
one's appropriate for now.
and then
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
work on the
necessary
taxi-
now.
the
I think it's
taxi cab
necessary
thing?
now. I think the ordinance,
Okay.
between Jillian and Margot, they got a real good start to some edits to it, and I think we just keep moving with those edits and bring it back to council.
Okay, so let's go ahead, call the question.
Okay, on the adoption of Resolution R-127-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Mayor?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on. We have no unfinished business, but we have new business, cannabis update. This is your meeting, Councilman. Would you like to?
No, actually, Jillian and I were talking about this. It's actually, a lot of folks were stopping me and saying, when?
Right.
And I said, takes time, takes time. So it's been a while, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity just to give everybody an update.
Sure.
Where we are with the
Jillian, you're giving the
process.
update then.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
So Uma Flowers is the operator that was provided with the license by the town. They were awarded a conditional license by the state in September of 2022. This subsequently went to the planning board and were awarded a planning board approval in March or April of this year. And they subsequently applied for a permanent license from the Cannabis Regulatory Commission, I think is what CRC stands for. And that's where they stand. So the CRC is going through their own sort of process to finalize their license. In the meantime, Uma Flowers has initiated all of their sort of land use permitting processes that they can initiate to get to demolition. They have to apply to DEP for DEP licensing, exactly, because it's close to a waterway. They finally got that license after almost 9 months. Now they're going to soil disturbance. Once they get that, then they can proceed with a demo permit. They have a GC in place already, so they're moving towards getting everything finalized and getting construction started. My understanding from them is that they're hoping to be on the agenda at the CRC, hopefully in October, and they'll get their final license and then they'll move forward. So they're progressing. My understanding is that their sort of lag at the CRC is not unique to them, that a lot of other licensees around the state are a similar condition where they have a conditional license and they're waiting on the CRC to do whatever they do, but they are moving along.
Do you know if the state has the delivery service companies in place that you get to sub out to? Do you
I have
know
no idea.
anything about that?
I don't know. And I think that that's one of the license types that have to also be authorized locally. So there may also be a component of local licensure that's playing into that, but I just am not familiar.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on to item 2, sidewalk sales.
Well, thank you, Amanda, for bringing this up.
Thank you for waiting.
And thank you for waiting. Actually, I don't think we've ever had this big of a crowd here this time of night in a long time.
Weird.
It's, which is great.
Good company.
But I don't know if everybody realizes, but our town ordinance 8.4 does not permit outside retail. okay? We do permit it sometimes during the festivals, we allow it. What Amanda was bringing up was, should we give some consideration to allowing outside retail within some parameters, similar to what we do with outdoor dining?
I'm
You know, it's very
hoping,
much-
Nathan, you're going to bring this to partnership tomorrow and talk about this?
Certainly,
Thank you.
yeah.
Because this is definitely a partnership item that they should be
It does, but
bringing to us.
it will require
but-
an ordinance here.
Right, which they could bring, so, yeah, we could rewrite the ordinance. I just, let's get their
Yeah,
input
yeah,
also, but
Yeah.
let's see what,
So what's our general feeling, though?
The ordinance was put in place in 1983, presumably under different conditions. Does the administration have any insights on the concerns that were addressed?
I don't know what the fallout would be. Initially, it would probably be something that's great. However, I'll give you an example. I own a mattress store. I want all my mattresses out on the street.
We've seen that.
Well, wait a minute. So what do you going to discriminate?
Right.
So you have to think about everything. I think the first step would have to obviously, the partnership is the entity that deals with the downtown businesses. I've seen it successful on certain days where they do the outside stuff. Yeah, shaking your head, it's great, right? But an everyday thing, I don't know. One of the things, I have a relationship with the mayor of Westfield. I'll reach out to her, see what they have, a very, very vibrant downtown. If they do that type of stuff, maybe they do it once a month or twice a month or something like that. So let's do a little research.
Setting some parameters.
Yeah, set some parameters, let's do some research. And I
and
think,
also discuss the length of the sidewalk, how much of the sidewalk.
yeah, for short sidewalks, obviously, you're not going to be able to do it. But that would be, because I get complaints about mattresses on sidewalks. To be truthful, I get complaints about, Speedwell and Spring Street.
And Spring Street, yep.
they have one
So, they're not allowed.
Yeah.
So you have to look at everything. But I think there's always room to do a little research on it and see if there's parameters you can put on it twice a month, 4 times a month, once a week, who knows? I don't know. Every Saturday.
Weekends, yeah.
Weekends, it could be very positive for the downtown.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do have a great walking downtown. We're vibrant, a lot of people, even all summer long, where it wasn't like that. Now there's people downtown all summer. So a partnership would be great to start with.
Right.
Yep,
I think
yep. We'll have a
partnership.
conversation,
All right,
absolutely.
great,
There you go.
thanks, and then you could
Thank you for
report back
bringing
to
it
us.
up.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 9:16 PM. Good night, everybody.